So I think I'm going to create this in InDesign, and what I'll do is I'll just create this image with the black background, and we'll find some really nice handwritten font to lay on top and give it that kind of very authentic, very raw feel that we have here on the Fenty Beauty website. Okay, so I have InDesign open here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new document, and I'm going to set the custom dimensions here. So I believe I had, let's just go 1600, and we're going to go by 960 in depth. And you can always change this if this ends up being too big or too small. And I'm going to go ahead and create. Okay, looks like everything's loaded up all right. So I'm going to go here to the the rectangle tool and draw out a rectangle. Let me select black. And I'm going to draw this rectangle out all the way to the bleed, even though this is not a print document, so the bleed really isn't necessary, but I just have it on there because I think it was already in the settings. So I'm going to go ahead and save this as, we're just going to call it footer. Footer image. Okay, and the next thing to do is to, let's see, I'm going to take out the text tool and draw out some text here. And I'm just going to go by the little makeup name that I picked for this website, which is Skin by Crystal L. I know you can't see that right now, but I'm going to make that larger so you can see it. And let's go ahead and make that about 30. It could be even bigger than that, 72. Let's go maybe 150. Looks pretty okay. And we're going to make this white. So I'm going to go here to the text, click on paper. Let's fix that typo there. I think I do want this probably on the bottom. Let's see, I'm probably going to play around with this. Let me actually remove that. So I just cut that out. And I'm going to repaste it. Let me take out the hyphen. All right, so we'll hyphenate. All right, that looks pretty good. And now the fun part is finding some fonts to work with this graphic. Okay, so I settled on this font called Bitter Mind, and it's a font that's free for commercial use. So if you just type in Bitter Mind font in Google, you will find it. And yeah, I settled on these. And remember, like, this is going to be in the background, so they don't have to be like super prominent. It just needs to be something that will go in the background. So I'm going to select both of those. I'm going to just rotate them a little bit here. And that might end up being a little bit too big. So for these, let me see here. I think I'm going to move them up a little bit here. And I can probably move this back just slightly, because remember, you're going to have a form, you're going to have form fields going across the middle. So we don't want these to be too big. I think I'm going to shrink it down just a tad bit. Okay. And I think I'm also going to reselect these again, kind of ease up on the angle just a tad bit, so it's not quite so slanted. All right, it's looking pretty good. Gonna bump it up a little bit. So to give this text kind of the effect that you saw on the Fenty Beauty website, where, let me just go to that for a reference, we can see there's like some feathering and some fading, almost like a blurred motion. In a way, it almost looks like maybe like a spray paint, but I want to create something similar in effect, not exact, but something similar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the FX panel, and I'm going to click here on Outer Glow. And it's already on preview, so you can see like there is a little bit of an effect already added. If I just click off preview, then you can see the difference. I'm going to increase the size of this, let's see, to 20 pixels. And let's increase the spread a little bit. I'm going to use this slider to see if that will kind of give a little more of an effect. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Let's add a little bit of noise. Let's do about 3% noise on that. Okay, that's not too bad. I think I might back off just a little bit on the spread. Maybe I'll go down to a 4. Let's see if that does anything. I think I need to go down in size just a tad bit. Okay. I think I'm pretty okay with that. So let's leave it like that. I'm going to click OK. And that's basically it for this portion. I'm going to go ahead and export this as a JPEG. So I'll go to File, Export, and it's already set there to JPEG. Let's hit Save. And this looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to leave the settings as is and export. Okay, now that that's been saved, let's go back to the actual demo website. And I'm going to go to the WordPress dashboard. Let me go to Media, Add New, because I want to add this new image I just created. And where is it? Right here, footer image. Go ahead and open. All right, great. That's been uploaded. So now I'm going to go to Elementor, and let's go to Templates and Theme Builder. Now we're going to add a new footer. So I'm going to click on the footer tab, add new footer. Let's just name this main footer. And create template. I am not going to use any of the examples that they have here, so I'm just going to click out of the X, and let's go here to the plus side. We're going to add a new section, one column. Let's add an intersection first. And then I'm going to go here to this main section. Actually, before I do that, let's click on that. And let's make sure that this is full width. I'm going to click here again on Edit Section, go to Style, and then Background. We'll click on Classic and choose Image. So now I'm going to choose that image that I just uploaded and insert it. All right, so you can see here that this is not the full height of the image. So let's go back to, let's see, actually, let's go to size, which is default, but let's choose cover instead. And then let's go back to layout, and for height, we're going to set a minimum height of 960. All right, that's looking pretty good to me. All right, yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, as you can see here, the text is actually quite large, and it's a little bit larger than I want. So I might have to go back and resize the text here so it doesn't take up so much space on the footer. Yeah, as you can see here, we just definitely want to go over a third. So let me go back and fix this up. Okay, so I re-uploaded this image and I made sure that the type is a little bit more on the left third of the screen and moved up close to the top of the section. So that part is pretty much done. And you can also just play around with this in Elementor as well. You can play with the position. So I have it on default, but you can try different positions to see what works best for your graphic that you may be uploading. So you can see this one's kind of like off the screen a little bit, so it's a little bit weird. It is several different things that you can kind of play around with. I'm going to keep it at the default, which I think is exactly where I want this to be, and go from there. Okay, well, we're almost to the finish line with this footer. So as you can see right here, I've added a little bit more to this graphic. I had like a little paint splash just to give the footer a little more pizzazz, a little more something else to look at.